Oops. Sorry about that. I forgot I gotta... When I'm recording, I have, like, my voice set on a different audio track, and I keep forgetting that, with the live stream, that, yeah, that doesn't work for whatever reason, so I've got to switch it back into a single track. Again, it's been a while, bear with me. We're probably gonna have a few bumps along the way, but anyway, getting on with things. So, our only ambition that we have access to in the early access build is wealth, so we'll go with that. And what shall we call ourselves? Let's random name it a little bit. Let's see. What do I like? You know what? I'm not finding anything I like. We'll call ourselves Ulysses. Sounds about right. And our title will be Captain. Sounds fair. That's some wacky hair right there and a wacky hat. What kind of hats do we want? Let's see. That's a bit too soldiery. That's a jaunting cap. And let's see. That's a bit of a wacky nose. That's good enough. Chin. We need a nice... Well, that looks like the silhouette of a fine and luxurious beard. I'll go for it. That's a little too much for me. Let's see here. Nope, not quite right. Yeah, that looks good enough. I like that. Simple, clean, effective, a little bit unkempt, but rugged. Much like myself, or so I would tell myself. Anyway, let's see here. So, overall, as a summary, we are a poet. Where I guess our work is associated with the Celestials. Revere the complexities of the natural order. All things have a place, from highest to high, from lowest to least. Or lower to least, rather. They favor the intricate, the tranquil, the reflective. Yeah, that sounds about right, if I were going to describe myself. And of course, wealth. The skies are strewn with the currencies of heaven. Many have made their fortunes out among the stars. Many more have failed, broken and lost in the drifting night. Will you be different? Well, I guess we'll find out. We shall find out indeed. I'm willing to bet I'm going to die 10,000 times in our time together here today, but, you know, we'll see. Maybe I will prove to be more durable than I think. Who knows? We can hope. Alright, let's see. Sunless Skies is in a preliminary stage of early access, with many stories and functions yet to be implemented. An early version of the trade system is currently implemented, with more opportunities planned. To supplement your income, defeat enemies, deliver port reports to New Winchester, and complete stories. Alright, and we get a little bit of cash. Some gold sovereigns to get us started. And I played a little bit off camera before getting started here, so I have a bit of a rough feel for how things work. Though having said that, I have no doubt that I still have quite a bit to learn. Oh yeah, that does use a few supplies, doesn't it? But I'm sure our bat will happily, yes, sulks in its room, you bribed it with beetles until it admits to something of interest, which we can of course see here on the map, which is no doubt New Winchester itself. Alright, let's get that cruise control going again. Man. You know, there's just something cool about flying around in space on a giant, space train. I like it. In the cold, infinite darkness of the far, far near future, past, present. Actually, you know what? That's a good question. What time is it? I'm pretty sure Sunless Skies is still set in, like, the early mid to late 1800s, maybe 1900s, so it's technically, I guess, still in the past, isn't it? Still, cool stuff. Alright, so we gained a little bit of experience there, discovering some things, and I kind of crash-landed in there. Good job. Alright, now there's a lot of stories here to look into, but I think like each port will just, like, quickly look at some stuff and then move on, because, you know, just because we want to look at as much as possible. Alright, so the clamoring central station of New Winchester, a place of steam and smut and thundering iron. Here you can find people willing to pay for a skilled captain's service. Alright, what do we got? Let's see here. Smoggy clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach. An ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. Alright, what do we got here? We've got an opportunity. The fastidious inspector. Someone is calling to you across the busy platform. Alright. Excuse me, Captain. A woman rushes through the crowd towards you. A woman who sounds suspiciously like a man pretending to have a terrible Scottish accent. She is short and square-shouldered, in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of her pocket watch. It is embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible for ensuring time is consistent across the Empire. Now, I'm pretty sure that actually used to be a real thing. It's kind of funny how technology's rendered that obsolete, hasn't it? Anyway, I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper, she says, slipping the watch away and giving up on the fake accent. I can, of course, pay. Alright, pay does sound promising. And we get a little bit of cash to start off. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman fonder of brandy than of diligence. Here, an initial sum to seal our bargain. Prosper lies a long way to the east and northeast of New Winchester. Not that there is such a thing as north, south, east, or indeed west out here. Instead, London cartographers picked 4 of the brighter, more reliable stars visible from the Empress's new palace and named them north, east, south, and west. Okay, so let's pay real close attention to this. East, northeast. So that means more east than north, but still a little bit north. Gotcha. Alright. We will attempt to hold on to that. Let's see. The Promise of Days. Is there anything else cool here? Potential recruits, but we're already full on recruits. Or actually, is that even really true? An occurrence. Your summon awaits you quality is now 31. Aha! The fatalistic signaler. Alright. Okay, so we've got like some cool new guy we can hire here. Alright. Anything is probably better than here, Captain. This will get you a signaler who will increase your mirrors by 6, your veils by 2, and your affiliation, villainy, by 1. Ooh, villainy. That does sound pretty cool. Sure, I'll hire you. He sighs mournfully as he inspects your engine. It'll do, I suppose. Well, that's good. At least he's happy. Well, happy to work for us for now. Let's see. Victory Hall, Company House. Let's visit some of these places. The Assembly, a coalition of independent-minded settlers, colloquially called Tacades, gather and argue here. Deliver port reports here to receive rewards and win the Tacades' favor. Okay. I do enjoy helping the poor and downtrodden fight against the man. At least in video games. I'm probably too cowardly to do that in real life, but that's besides the point. Raised in the wake of the blockade of New Winchester, this magnificence of glass and steel houses the Colonial Assembly. Here, representatives of the independent ports of the Reach gather and quarrel. Chat with the indurate veteran. She is taking a moment in the atrium, watching the stars burn coldly in the mists. Learn how you can be of use to the Tacades, these colonists seeking independence from London. Alright. Her skin is brown and her hair beginning to gray. She wears a heavy unbuttoned coat. Metals gleam in the shadows behind its lapels. One half of her face is scarred from frostbite. She is enjoying a quiet cigarillo while her peers argue in the chamber of assembly. You talk for a while about life in the skies. When her cigarillo is just a stub, she says, I'd be grateful to hear reports of your travels, Captain. I suspect all manner of strife and imprudence is going to kick off in the foreseeable. I mean to be ready for it. Alright. Sweet. Sounds cool. Hopefully some of those rewards include cold, hard cash. Alright, trade favor for secrets, trade favor for otherworldly artifacts, or to balance, or to affect the balance of power. Alright, so we don't really have too much to share now. Let's also talk to Company House, local headquarters of the Windward Company, London's proxy in the Reach. Alright, so basically, yeah, we're either helping the colonists or the Empire itself. I think we know which side we're taking in that struggle. So let's see, following the uprising, the fortunes of the Windward Company fell in New Winchester. Now their modest offices occupy an tining factory in the murkier recesses of town. It continues to smell, faintly, of beans. Alright. The foyer bristles with stovepipe hats, rather. Those are cool and should totally make a comeback at some point. Probably never gonna happen. The prudent secretary pushes between them, narrow and unsmiling, with a blousy shirt and black trousers. Alright, what does the company want from me? Also, here's a question. Could I trade reports to both and basically double my profit? Good questions. The secretary's gender is the subject of some debate in the company canteen. The secretary's prudence, however, is not. Both these facts provide the secretary with a great degree of satisfaction. I would be interested to receive reports on events in other ports, however small. The company has expansive interests. One never knows what might be important. Alright, so it's all pretty straightforward there. What do we got in the bazaar? Let's see here. Locomotive captains gather at the bazaar to trade goods and information. Here you can acquire prospects, opportunities to sell a good at a distant port for an excellent price. Accept a prospect to claim it, source the goods, and deliver them. Alright, so Verdant Seeds, Magdalene's provides comfort and sympathy to the weary Skyfarer. Its hosts will tell you any lie you need to hear. Some of these require flowers. The amenable host wants up to 3 sacks of Verdant Seeds and will pay 80 sovereigns for each. Alright. Assuming there's no time limit on these, I mean, I guess there's no reason not to take every single opportunity we get. Ah, literature for Polmir and Plenty. Up to 5 volumes of literature. Genre, literary merit, and moral worth irrelevant. Deliver to the Ringmaster, Polmir and Plenty's inconceivable circus, the Reach. Alright. I mean, I guess we gotta find all these places to deliver to, and we're not exactly being given the easiest time of it, but we'll find everything sooner or later anyway, so it's cool. Alright. Captain, Sweet Jane's counting house requires 5 crates of munitions in order to enforce a claim. Alright. Well, you know, that's straightforward enough. Let's see, the labor exchange. We could buy some crew, or we could sell some crew, which we don't have to sell anyway. And let's see here, engineering. So these are like weapons and things, and shields. Shields are good, but as we can see here, we are probably not buying anything anytime soon. Though we are probably going to want to save up to get this mining array. And we could buy some fuel and some supplies. Maybe I'll buy one of each, just to make sure that we are set out there, because God only knows how long we're going to be out here in the dark. Ooh. Got all kinds of cool tradey thingies. Ooh, a Moloch-class liner. That just sounds cool. And it does have plenty of slots on it, but we're obviously not affording that anytime soon. 9,500 ducats. Alright. Also, I gotta try. Can I slide under the bridge, or... Oh, good, I can. I figured for a second that that might count as like a solid collision, so I was a little scared. But it does look like we are set. So north, or east-northeast, so away we go. And it did say it was a fair distance away, so we shall, I guess, yeah, just kind of head in this general direction, and we'll see if we happen to come across anything of interest. Oh, we also have some storylets down here. We could talk to the Coggy Conversation. Alright. Begin with pleasant... Well, actually, you know what? As much as I enjoy reading all these story bits, I figure let's try to balance it out by, you know, going on some adventure first here. Travel into the depths of space and see what, if anything, we happen to find. You know, hopefully something exciting. Because, I mean, that's what we're out here for. Discovery, exploration. To go where no man has gone before, and so on and so forth. Ooh, what's this? A stopped clock. The fastidious inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I noticed your ship's clock is stopped. Perhaps you'd permit me to repair it. She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. Alright. I'll totally let you do that. She gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon she has the back off the clock and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obtuse horological tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place. I appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. That it is. Will also compliment her skills. Thank you, she says, a small embarrassed silence. It is possible the inspector is pleased. It is rather hard to tell. Alright. We'll engage in more of that later, but for now, like I said, we probably just want to do a little bit of exploring, see some of the other aspects of the game. Though, of course, with anything set in Fallen London, expect a lot of reading and just narrative juiciness of that nature. Which I enjoy. It's kind of like reading, I don't know, like a choose-your-own-adventure novel, but with some actual, like, you know, more interactive gameplay stuff mixed in, which is always fun. Also, what is this? A giant beanstalk floating in space, or something of that nature. That sounds worth exploring. Alright. Let's check it out. I mean, surely there's something of interest here. Though this can't possibly be what we're looking for, can it? I mean, I suppose it could be, but that feels unlikely. Okay, there's... That looks like the wreckage of a ship, doesn't it? Let's go check that out. Oh. Hold your horses there. Oh, it requires mining. Okay. In that case, moving on then. Alright, let's take a quick look at the old map. Yeah, alright, so we gotta re-maneuver ourselves a little bit more northward, don't we? No, according to my stats, there are 7 other people accompanying you. But it is a quiet little stream. Alright, let's see. Got some plant things over here. Oh, look at that. That's gotta be a signal that we're near some kind of source of life, right? A heady pollen scent permeates the bridge. Fierce as blooming lilies. Alright, cool. So what have we got here? Some kind of giant flower palace. Oh, okay, that little thing is below us. Alright, Petal End. Gained a little bit of experience. The Bloom Bower, a little bit more experience. Oakley dokley. Let's see what is in store for us in this new place. Easy to... Ooh, that was a rough docking, wasn't it? I'll get the hang of it eventually. Titania whispered throughout the Reach to be a perfumed paradise for artists. Perhaps it could be, but currently it's little more than a few houses built around a plaza, and it seems the further development is stalled by their inability to agree on a unified aesthetic, judging at least by the shouts from Valentin Square. The debaters stand before the rhapsodic mayor, desperate to convince her to decide the question in their favor. She only listens, her dreamy smile widening with each line of argument. Alright. The debaters fall silent as the rhapsodic mayor raises her hand and waves you over. The mayor shakes your hand, then so does the pharaonic enthusiast. A precious pleasure. The formidable lacquerer, a charmed, I'm sure. And the efflorescent dandy, a welcome petal. That just sounds right for a dandy, for some reason. The mayor clasps her hands and looks heavenward. I am troubled, beset by visions while sleeping and waking, of how our little port may look. Their beauty captivates me, paralyzes me, stuns me. They're all so wonderful, I simply cannot choose between them. She sighs and turns her eyes to you. But you're neutral. Won't you help us? Alright, let's see. The pharaonic enthusiast, an Egyptian aesthetic, truly the most timeless style, mythology written to grand designs, all blue and gold, divinely inspired, the preferred choice of kings and queens. Or, on behalf of the lacquerer, a Japanese aesthetic, tranquil and melancholic, like the stillness of ancient ponds, bombastic and colorful, like a drunken revel under paper lanterns, always perfect to the finest detail. Or the dandy's mantle, a vegetable aesthetic. What greater aesthetician is there than nature herself, she who drafted the architecture of flowers and painted petals in all their vividness? I don't know about a vegetable aesthetic. I mean, vegetables. Vegetables, gross, ick. I mean, then again, this is a giant flower city, so... But no, I'm gonna go with the Egyptian aesthetic. I like Egypt, that's a cool place. I mean, very, very... No, it's got a lot of weight to it, all that history. The enthusiast strokes her false beard in delight. The mayor claps. The others slink away defeated. After the enthusiast excuses herself to gather her model pyramids, the mayor winks. If I'd decided on one, I'd have risked the scorn of the other two. Our perfumed parliament has trouble getting along. Thank you. Alright, cool. We get a moment of inspiration and some experience. Awesome. Alright, let's go chat with the old mayor. Let's see. The rhapsodic mayor invites you to sit with her on a bench. Have you ever seen anywhere so beautiful, she asks, inhaling the perfumed air. We'll fill our home with obelisks, all decorated with the most beautiful hieroglyphics. Perhaps a tasteful sphinx in Valentine Square? But if we're to truly be a haven for the arts, we must embark on greater projects. Unfortunately, we're limited on space and working with no budget to speak of. We rely entirely on donations. Damn hippies, get a real job. Wouldn't you mind taking a look at our plans? Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, yes. She pecks your cheek and leads you to her small office at the end of the square, a building as makeshift as any on the frontier, but its sins have been covered with a fresh white coat of paint and a carved filigree enhanced by delicate colors. Sounds cool. Alright, let's start off by writing a port report. Excellent, so now we can turn this over in New Winchester for delightful rewards, which hopefully includes money. The walls are lined with blueprints submitted by the mayor's perfumed parliament. Alright, so that's all cool, but let's take a look at what we've got here. So we can build a ballroom, a theater, or a library. It also costs money. That's kind of important, I suppose. I mean, we own... How much do we have right now? We have like a little under 100. You know, perhaps we shouldn't buy or like build anything yet. Alright, so it looks like... Yes. There's not really anything there yet. Okay, so what we probably want to focus on is just picking up some new opportunities for trade. And then we shall see, what else we can get here. Probably not much right now. I mean, if we look at this, yeah, we can get fuel, supplies, and forester nectar. Wow, that's pretty expensive. We only have 90 sovereigns, so we don't really have a lot of opportunity to buy stuff just yet. Alright, let's see here. Half-price stack of penny dreadfuls. Alright. Oh, I can actually buy these. And hang on a second, didn't someone say they wanted, let's see here, somewhere around here. Ah, yeah, someone said they wanted books, didn't they? Yes, literature. Need 5. Wow, that's actually pretty expensive. Okay, so we need to actually earn some money before we can even start buying these things. Oh, but there is someone selling seeds, and we do need those verdant seeds. How much do the seeds cost? We need free seeds, and that's only 30, so... Yeah, and we have 90 sovereigns, so we can afford that. Alright, so we've got that. Still have a little bit of space. So I suppose logic dictates that perhaps we should go back to New Winchester and see how much cash we can make for, our minor little mercantile venture here. Or we could keep going further and try to find this place that we're trying to go to. Where are we going to again? Port Prosper. Long way east-northeast. Alright. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go try to find this Port Prosper first. I think we've got enough time and supplies and low enough terror that we should be able to make it there and then, make it back later and generally not have too much to worry about. What the hell is that? Something scary, probably. Let's stay away from those things. I mean, like, those are like giant space mosquitoes that are almost the same size of the train itself. Never a good idea to get too involved with those thingamajigs. Alright, so off we go. And it looks like we are... Oh, dear. Well, they're not attacking me, so I guess that's a plus. But I still don't want anything to do with them, so let's keep moving on, shall we? Alright, so we are kind of east and also northeast, so I think we're right. What type of game? Oh, how would I describe it? Let's see. Sunless Skies is a game that is... It's kind of... I don't know, it's like an interactive novel, almost, in a way. Like, it's very, very story-heavy. I can't think of off the top of my head, like, the words to describe what it is. It's like a novel, and also, like, Oh, I'm trying to think of, like, some similar games I've played that, kind of have the same general aesthetic, or at least, like, the same kind of gameplay idea of, like, we travel around, we can buy and sell goods, try to make our way out there, but, like, the real draw, I think, of Sunless Skies, let's see, a rumbling of far-off refineries, distant searchlights rake the sky, but anyway, like, the real draw is the story, like, the narrative that you get out of this, like it's really well written, first of all, and second of all, what the heck is this? And can we do anything with it? But yeah, I'm gonna describe it as like an interactive novel, but that may not be like the best description. But it's the best that kind of comes to mind offhand. Hello, ship thing. Alright, so we've got some buildings here. This must be Port Prosper. At least that's my assumption, anyway. And surely there must be a place for us to land and dock safely. Or so I should hope, anyway. Oh yeah, there it is. Ah, what is this? The Mornington Aberfet Span. Oh, so this is not Port Prosper? Oh, it is Prosper, never mind. Okay, so we made it. Excellent. Alright, Queen's Cross Station. Let's see. Queen's Cross Station. Crammed at the feet of a hulking crag, Port Prosper is a little London, divided into an affluent west end and an impecunious east. Another thing I love about this game is that I learn new words all the time. It's very verbose. There's lots of purple prose scattered here and there. Queen's Cross is a busy station, crowded with engines that have arrived through the nearby transit relay from Albion. Alright. Now, before we do that, we should probably go back and kind of read some of her storylet stuff. So let's actually go ahead and do that right now. Well, once we pop out of here. Alright, storylet, a coggy conversation. So let's start by inquiring about her work. What are your duties, exactly? She sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one quarter of the Empire occurs at this same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if it can't agree on what day it is? Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. The hours trade is seen to that. The what now? The hours trade, the tangles of time. Oh, hours have more uses than just that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, to speed journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. It does not make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult, but more vital. I see. Her Majesty seized a great trove of them when she assumed the throne of hours, and now even more have been found in the Reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope, someday, to retire with a modest pension of years, myself, to prolong the better part of my retirement. Interesting. And discuss the Reach, the wide, wild frontier, a sunless domain, but impossibly verdant, with gargantuan vines, cathedral-sized bronze woods, and livid fungal archipelagos. It has an uncouth splendor, but I miss Albion, and the steady light of the clockwork sun. These sunless reaches are so misty and quiet, she pauses, but critical. The territories here are rich with raw hours, and enough vegetation grows on them to feed the whole of London, even if some of it is a dubious shape. Okay. Discuss the suns. What happened to the Reach's sun? And London has a man-made sun. How did Her Majesty defeat the old one? Also, pro tip for anyone not familiar with the whole, like, fallen London universe. Suns are called judgments, and judgments are basically like gods. And man, apparently in this, has managed to kill God and replace it with his own. Rather deep stuff, isn't it? We warred and we won. It's not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. The suns made the law, they say. Now Her Majesty makes it. As for the Reach's sun, she looks through the window at the lightless, stirring mists. I don't know. Do suns grow old? Do they die of natural causes? I think that would probably be better than the alternative, wouldn't it? Kind of ominous, isn't it? Ask about the Winchester War. There are those who feel that London is a long way away, and they do a better job of governing themselves. The frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them tackities. For the hobnail boots that are so practical out here. London, unsurprisingly, disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interest in the region. Sometimes very earnestly indeed. The tackities call London loyalists stovepipes. For our hats, I suppose. Man, I love stovepipes. I gotta get myself a stovepipe hat, even though I'd probably never wear it in public, because, you know, being the only person wearing a stovepipe hat in this day and age is a little weird. But I think they're cool. Anyway, she avoids looking at you. And you, Captain, where do your sympathies lie? With London? I don't know. I think the Queen might be a little crazy. Let's see. I mean, we could hedge our bets and basically say we don't care to be on either side. But you know what, assuming we can, like, change our mind, let's see what each one says, or each option says. Glad to hear it, she says. Alright. I mean, I'm kind of lying to her, because I think, if anything, I'd probably side with the rebels more than I do with the Queen. I mean, you know, I didn't vote for the Queen, so why should I have to listen to what she has to say? Or something. I mean, also, how can she control me way out here in the vast frontier? Anyway, let's deliver this fastidious inspector. She disembarks with her bag in hand and peers up at a clock tower that is being raised above the station. Let's see. She disembarks with her bag in hand and peers up at a clock... Okay, yeah, we read that. It is tangled with scaffolding and rings with the sound of hammers and cries of workmen. Accept your payment. You will receive fuel and supplies in addition to a sum of money. Ensure that you have 6 spaces in your hold before accepting. Ah. Okay, perhaps not. How much space do I have in the hold anyway? Okay, so I don't actually have enough space for my reward, so we won't pick it. Not yet. Alright, so what do we got here? Attend a private meeting at the Windward Company. Attend a parade. I can recruit the clay conductor. Ooh, that's cool. Goodness gracious, Captain. He lumbers towards your locomotive. What a fine engine. This will get you a first officer who will increase your hearts by 6, your iron by 2, and your affiliation academy by 1. Alright, well, let's do that first of all. He shakes your hand firmly. It is likely grasp, or is like being grasped by an avalanche. I simply cannot thank you enough for the opportunity, Captain. Alright, cool story. And, ooh, look at that. Parades. But let's write a report first. Very little happens on Port Prosper, but someone might take an interest. Factories continue to belch out smoke, while over the bridge, hopeful crowds gather outside the Admiral Nelson. Lovers can be seen strolling arm in arm along the promenade, at a respectable distance from their chaperones. There was a brief protest outside the Windward Company factory, swiftly quelled. The scones... Scones? Or the scones? I'm gonna say scones, even though I'm pretty sure that's pronounced scones. At the Nelson were as good as that... Oh no, they were scones. Were as good at the Nelson... Yeah, at the... Let me try that sentence again. The scones at the Nelson were as good as ever, though the piquancy of the jam was less than might be desired. Piquancy. Piquancy. I'm gonna say piquancy. That's a new word as well for me. Hand your port reports in to the indurate veteran, or yeah, we know about that. Right. Let's go to a parade. Parades are fun. The procession of the Red Saint. Gaudy banners fly over the painted rooftops of Port Prosper. The smog of the East End is hidden away by giant posters displaying dragons in varying degrees of vivisection. The cramped streets are clogged with people. Wealthy West Enders promenade about the amusements, while impoverished East Enders work the stalls and huddle by the chestnut fires for warmth. Painted dragon pursued by knights is chased through the crowds, to a chorus of "Ho, the riding!" Fraternize with everyone. Skyfarers are not limited by the rigid social structures of Port Prosper, though neither are they beloved for it. Well, screw you guys then. You are treated as a curiosity and viewed from all sides with suspicion. Still, you find yourself in conversation with an elderly colonel who is retired to Port Prosper. A bulwark of sanity, he calls it. A line in the sand against all the stuff out there. He introduces you to one of the riders in the procession, who takes on a tour, or who takes you on a tour of the carnival. You converse with chestnut sellers and flower arrangers, drink in the outdoor pubs, and dance with several of the vaudeville players. I'm willing to bet this is the sort of game where, like, trying to play the middle doesn't work so well, and we're gonna, sooner or later, have to pick a definitive side. But for now, we'll play the middle. At the end of the day, you learnt many names and faces, and even acquired a few calling cards. Alright, so we're tolerated by both sides, well that's a plus, and the parsimonious chairman is out on his morning constitutional. Eastenders steer clear of his route. Westenders track him down to make entreaties. Alright, so we've learned a little bit more about people. I mean, we can... Ooh! We can take a tour of the factory. Or attend a private meeting. But perhaps not. We'll go explore some more stuff later. Oh yeah, we need to buy some hours, don't we? Wow, those are pretty expensive. Alright, so we're not going to be doing any of that anytime soon. Let's just go explore a little bit, free up some inventory space, and see what we might find out here, because there are monsters to fight. I mean, there's a reason why we have guns. I mean, I could kill this thing. I could kill a fellow train guy, but then again, he didn't attack me, so it feels like poor form to attack him. So, yeah, let's try to find a monster to shoot. You know, just so we can kind of show off the combat mechanics. Because that sounds reasonable and appropriate and generally good for business. Oh yeah. We also probably want to get back to New Winchester before this fills up. So I don't really want us... I mean, there's probably some pros and cons to going crazy, but, you know, I'm not in any particular hurry, as it were. Ooh, what's this? Something's looming up here in the dark. Hopefully nothing terrible. One can hope. Oh, actually, wait, we can send out our bat. Aha, your bat? Oh, you found nothing. Well, that's disappointing. Alright, so we're kind of at, like, the edge of space here. Or at least the edge of this sector, so... Kinda makes you wonder what might happen if we wander too far. Oh, the screen just... Ahead, the sky is full of midnight. Which presumably is a subtle warning that we should turn back. Because there is nowhere else for us to go. At least not yet. Eventually, however... I mean, right now, if we look at the map, there's two regions. We've got the Reach, and we've got Albion over here. Albion, of course, is where London and the capital is, so... At some point, we'll want to go check those out, especially because, you know, that's like the newest of new content right now. But I believe there's going to be two more different sectors to explore eventually. But for now, it looks like... Not really anything out here to encounter, is there? Unless we do want to blow up some, you know, some fellow rail conductor people things. Which sounds like poor form, but then again, we could probably get some sweet loot out of that, so I guess we'll see. I think the idea is we'll go back, we'll turn in our quest, and then we'll head back to New Winchester, turn in our current trading opportunity that we... Is this ship okay? It's kind of just sitting there, not moving. Which, you know, makes me wonder if there's actually even anyone living on it. I assume there is, but, you know, we could be wrong. Alright, let's accept our payment. Alrighty then. Ooh, the Albert Clock. They will pay for a delivery of Bronzewood and Chorister Nectar. Oh, and we saw there was Chorister Nectar back at the at Titania. Thank you, Captain. Here is the balance of our agreement, and, as promised, a requisition order for fuel and supplies. She casts another glance at the incomplete clock tower. Given the apparent state of construction, I'd recommend you visit the work site. There may be an opportunity there. And thank you for the pleasant conversation, Captain. The sky can be a lonely place. You enlivened it. I've included a small additional sum in your remuneration. Remuneration, whatever. As a token of my gratitude. Awesome. Alright, cha-ching. Also cha-ching. Other cha-ching. And we even gained a little bit of experience. Alright. Well, let's go see what the foreman... Ooh, deliver materials. Alright, so we need Chorister Nectar and Bronzewood. We know where to get the Nectar, but not where to get the Bronzewood yet. We'll find that soon enough, though. Anyway, they plan to call it the Albert Clock, in memory of the departed Prince Consort. But there's a way to go yet. The roof isn't finished, and the clock neither ticks nor bonds. As you can see, the fastidious inspector up among the workings with a spanner and a can of oil, showing the workmen how it's done. Bronzewood, the foreman wheezes bluntly. One consignment. They sell it at Trader's Wood. And Palmyre and Plenty's, I hear. And a gourd of Chorister Nectar, too. This bunch of workshy ingrates need constant shouting at, and my voice has given up the ghost. Some nectar should give me bellowing again, or should have me bellowing again like a champion. Carolyn's your best bet there. Or Titania, the flower town. We'll pay, like. Alright, you'll make a tidy profit. Be warned, the materials aren't cheap and they'll occupy space in the hold. Alright. So we'll take our leave for now, and we can check this stuff out later. But, ooh, ask for directions to the Albion Transit Relay. Sure, why not? Not far from Port Prosper lies the Albion Transit Relay. There, locomotives can secure passage to the far-off territories of Albion, where London lies. Alright. A long way to the east of New Winchester. Alright, so it's around here somewhere. An unctuous captain gives you more precise information. I'm happy to help, Captain. Happy to help. Looking at your chart, head clockwise from Port Prospero around the rim of the reach, and you'll run into the relay. Passage ain't free, mind. You can travel first class if you have a ministry-stamped permit, or you can bring a couple barrels of hours to travel second class. Not entirely sure what kind of accent I was going for there, but I think it covered my sentiments, more or less. Anyway, back to New Winchester, I say. So if we just head down hereabouts, we should find that relay station. But there'll be time for that later. For now, let's make our way back to New Winchester. Maybe try to explore some of this mist while we're at it, you know, just so we can continue filling up our map and discover what new places there may be. Also, this guy's very gray, isn't he? Very gray and Gollum-like. This guy's got a cool cigar. And by cigar, I mean cigarette. So, good for him. And this is a rock. It's a nice rock. Let's try not to run into it, shall we? That would generally be a good idea. Ooh, what's this? This is a house. A house in space. Are you turning around to attack me? I don't think so. That's good. You totally should not do that. So this is a mole's table. And a mole is a unit of measurement when it comes to chemical-y stuff. As memory serves. But, alright. Well, that's something, I guess. But, what else? What else is out there for us to discover? If anything. Let's give ourselves a little sideways push there so we don't run into the rock. Since as you might imagine, that would be generally bad for business. Ooh, what's this? Oh, there's an enemy we can fight. Oh, and the bat found nothing. Why is it happy to have nothing to report? That's just rude, dog. Also, oh, it's coming towards me, whatever this thing is. Remember, lead your targets. Oh god, back up, back up. Oh. Oh yeah, we also have a heat meter here. Don't overdo it. And it is dead. I don't know what it was. A cantankerous, placated. It is possibly dying. Smoke hisses from fractures in its shell. There is a disastrous smell. Listen to the cantankerous last complaint. Songs are sung in station tea rooms about the dying laments of the ageless cantankerous. So are these like space whales or something? To hear it is, apparently, good luck. Alright. Well, that's cool. Success! We gained a little bit of experience. Antenna wiggle resentfully in the wind. Eyes glower from the cavernous shell. Tankery shudders in deep disappointment before emitting a mournful then silence. That is my best attempt at describing what those things probably sound like. Also, we can level up now, so kind of, I guess, like, fill out our past. So we started off as a poet. Now, were we scarred at some point? Did we spend a spell in prison? Was there a scandal? Or did we have an interlude in red and gold? I do like the colors red and gold, so that sounds like the direction to go in. An interlude in red and gold. You lost your mind once. They put you in a splendid hotel managed by a cheery gentleman who determined when you could leave. How colorful the other guests were, how red the curtains, how gold the fittings, how secure the locks. Eventually you were allowed to leave, but was your recovery genuine? Yes, you were feeling much better, thank you. For trial and determination, you learn to tell what is from what is not. The manager said he was sad to see you go, and that gives us a little bit of mirrors and a little bit of iron. Or, no, you just learned to lie. You said what you had to, and they sent you home. Even now, your world is red and gold and splendid. Sure, why not? Let's say we lied. I mean, as they say, sanity is a one-trick pony, so yeah. We'll have pretended, which is kind of a horrifying thought. But then again, if we're already insane, then we have nothing to fear, probably, maybe. Oh, that was a bad shot. Bad shot again. Oh, don't hit the rock. That would be bad. And it's dead. It also exploded into little chunks. Alright, and we will listen to it again, get a little bit more experience, get closer to leveling up. And this is just like a lonely station. Oh god, there's More of these little buggers around here. These blighters, these beasties, these monstrosities. These creepness creatures that we do not want to... I mean, they're actually kind of adorable in a way, but also kind of not. Oh, there's also a little ring here, so we're heading back in. We're also being chased. I'm also hearing some buzzing in the darkness here, which is always terrifying. Because, you know, that's probably... These guys are going to give up eventually, right? Probably, maybe. We'll see, I guess. But for now, at least we're getting the heck out of here. Yeah, look, they left. Good. Good for them. Goodbye, Cantankery. It was nice... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, 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 no. This is still a new area. But it is not as new as what was. Also, I have to assume that I could, if we had a mining thing, we could, like, mine this wood, then save ourselves a little bit of cash, so that we don't have to buy these things ourselves. Which sounds good enough to me. Anyway, while we're sitting here, we got our hold, we got our stuff. We do need the literature, though. Oh, wait, actually, a thought just occurred to me here. Hang on. With this. Amenable host wants up to 3 sacks of verdant seeds, will pay 80 sovereigns. Ah, but is that actually back in New Winchester? That's something I didn't really take into account. Ah, Williams Weld. Okay. Williams Weld, meaning Williams Wood, if I were to hazard a guess as to the meaning of that. Alright, so at least we've found a couple of new things to add to our little, ooh. These are lights. Where are these lights coming from? Are they coming from down here, or are they coming from up here? I am not sure. But they are sunbeams of some sort. They may offer clues to something. What that something is, I don't know, but there may be something worth exploring down here. So yeah, you know what? We'll kind of circle down here and then we'll come back up into New Winchester. And, you know, kind of see where things go from there. A new smell. Behind the coal and oil, the green, unlikely scent of apples. Ooh, the village green. We found somewhere new. Somewhere new and exciting, it would seem. Alright, well, that's a small victory, and I'll take it. Alright. Wilkinsted. Alright, some cool place. Whoa, Port Avon. Avon. The Nowhere Inn. That sounded a little rough, didn't it? Arriving at Port Avon. Behold, a ruin of giants, gargantuan blocks jigsawed together. Furred with moss and whispering with orchards. My reading. A bucolic village nestles amongst them. Smoke coils daintily from the chimneys. A leisurely game of cricket unfolds on the village green. Alright, a ramshackle dock juts sky beside a farmyard scattered with rusty locomotive parts. Plating, piping, a chugging motor with its innards exposed. Okay. Ooh, and we're welcome. An oily-faced, black-haired girl waves your locomotive into position. Welcome to Port Avon, she calls as you disembark. A rich nod of scents greets you. Leaves and wood smoke, enriched by an infrequent but pungent intrusion of goat. Port Avon welcomes new visitors, but your novelty will wear off the more time you spend there. When you visit in future, you may need to bring something to keep them friendly. Ah. Alright, well that's good to know. Port Avon spills prettily across sections of colossal drifting ruins. Its orchard... I don't know why I want to keep saying that. Orchards. Its orchards bask in the evening gold light of a distant nebula. Exploring Port Avon will wear down your welcome. Here you can restore it, allowing you to stay longer. Alright, so basically, don't just go to any of these things all willy-nilly like... Ooh, share gossip. Which I don't think we have right now. Yeah, we need a salon-stewed gossip. Or host a tea party. Alright, let's see. When Port Avon's character is preserved like a fly in amber, thoroughly radical, staunchly traditional, quietly conservative. Interesting. Okay. Alright, yes. Okay, so we'll get ourselves a report. Were it not for talk of smugglers and sky beasts, you could easily confuse this place for a village on the world you left behind. It's quite peaceful here, apart from some fuss over a newspaper delivery. The villagers frown and change the subject when you ask about it. Interesting. Alright, what does the village green say? A golden nebula scintillates above... Scintillates or scintillates? I'm gonna say scintillates. Above Port Avon's apple trees, allotments, eel fishers, and steepled church. Here you may, if you choose, immerse yourself in the village's quaint rhythms. Alright, the heart of the village, surrounded by orchards of real apple trees that were shipped through the avid horizon as seeds. That sounds cool. Let's see, we can watch a cricket match. Okay. Or we could take a relaxing stroll around the village. Alright, let's have a little bit of a listen to it. Oh, sweet, we even lose a little bit of terror. But we did lose a bit of welcome. Above, a golden nebula is fierce in the sky. Amber light dapples the curving lanes. Locals nod to you, cautiously as you pass. A light drizzle of silver rain brushes the village. Its beads are bright and tiny as pinheads. Oh, what's this? 83% chance of success, you say. Visit the allotments. And fenced plots around Port Avon and grizzled horticulturalists aim the rampant vegetation of the reach. Oh, and we got success. Awesome. Oh dear, though our welcome is now kind of getting a little low, so we'll have to make sure we find some exciting new things to get them back on our side later. Oh, anyway, in the meanwhile though, the contents of the allotments are unlike familiar vegetables, but it helps to look for the similarities. That bulbous squash is too lumpen, too spotty, too purple to be a marrow, but it is more like a marrow than it is like a cucumber. The little fruits clumped on the serpentine vines are certainly not cherries. Cherries are not hairy, but they are closer to cherries than they are to, say, kiwi fruit. Or otters. Call it a marrow then. Call them cherries. It helps somehow. The gardener, mistaking your cognitive reshuffle for hunger, offers you a handful of freshly dug, tapered, tiger-striped roots. Let's call them carrots. You now have 1 times uncanny specimen. Wonder what that'll do for us. Good to have, but what does it do? Ooh, we could even attend a church service. But I don't think we want to do that right now, do we? Let's take a look at the Nowhere Inn. Broffridge's A Tour of Heaven describes Port Avon's single public house as a welcome respite, justly famed for its authentic Old Earth cider. The locals can be welcoming, for a while. You may be able to recruit more crew here. Okay, so we can read a bit of speculative fiction here, or we can appreciate an amount of cider, but our success with that is not terribly great, so I don't think we will. Let's not just yet. Let's go to the Cyclopean runes first. What palace was this? What giant king made his home here? And why did he abandon the vast stores of souls that the locals still quarry from beneath the stones? Perhaps you might risk a furtive excavation of your own. Alright, not one of the looming stones is quite square, yet they all slot together immaculately. Interesting. Alright, so we don't have a good chance of that. We do have a 100% chance of this. This we're gonna want to come back and investigate with later. Not one of the yeah, right, we read that before. What were these runes before their fall? Even their bones are tall and stately as the finest cathedrals of old France. What purpose did they serve in the past, plentiful days when their sun still shone? Alright, so actions will wear out my welcome. Oh wait, did it say that they'll wear out my welcome here? Yeah, okay. So we don't want to wear out our welcome yet. Let's see here. An horticultural opportunity. A buoyant broker selling sacks of verdant seeds. Okay. I mean, we've already got the verdant seeds, but it's good to know that they're, you know, they're there. Ooh, and we do have seasoning, apparently. Bales of cellar-woven bombazine. Bombazine is worked in the dark in candleless rooms with boarded windows. Well, we don't need it right now, and it is also kind of expensive. Ooh. Souls. Don't we need souls for something? Someone wanted souls. Or did they? No. We need books. But those are expensive and we can't quite afford them just yet. Do have the seeds though. The seeds are wanted by the amenable host. Okay, so we'll go back to that later. For now though, let us make our way back out into the cold depths of space. Yeah, you better run, Cantankery. Oh, I'm not even facing the right direction, and I basically shot into town. Good job. Aha! Don't shoot in the direction of town, Gaslight. For the love of God, don't shoot in the direction of town. That would be bad. Ow. And he gave me a little love tap. Alright, a little bit more experience, which... Okay, we've leveled up again. Ooh. Okay, so we've got some new opportunities. A mentor, a lost love. Let's go with a mentor. For a time, you enjoyed the favor and protection of a mentor, someone who saw your potential and decided to nurture it. Who took you under their wing, a blind bruiser. His attempts to distance himself from his larcenous past were of mixed success. His guests were scarred and rough-spoken, and told bloody tales of smuggling and fiefs and nameless murders. Which gives us a little bit of villainy association. Alright. Cool. Interesting. I like that. Like, not only are we slowly building a story about, the world around us, we're actually kind of piecing together a fragment of our own story. I like that. That's cool. Anyway, but we have been too long from old New Winchester, so let's make our way over there. And then perhaps, if we can, maybe we'll make our way out to Albion and try to visit London. Because, I mean, that can't possibly be a bad thing. Probably, maybe. I mean, I guess we'll have to see, won't we? But I'm sure things will work out, more or less. Of course, then again, we have... Oh, no, actually, no, we didn't. I was going to say we have established our loyalties to the colonists rather than the Queen, but that's not true, is it? We actually totally claimed that we were loyalists and that the Queen is, like, you know, the one and only love of our life and blah, 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 blah. All lies, but, you know, it works out. More or less. Works out more or less for me, anyway. That's the important thing. We'll play both sides until it's no longer profitable to do so. Anyway, moving on. Let's hit ourselves up in port, get rid of our terror if we can. There's a sweet forum over there. And here we go. Oh, don't... Ooh, that was a bit of a rough landing, wasn't it? Alright, back to Wolvesy Station. Scrubbed clerk bakes a moment of your time. I represent Halliges, the banking house. Okay, cool story. I represent Halliges, the banking house. I promise this will take only a moment of your unquestionably valuable time. He produces a folded contract with a flourish. We hear promising things about you, Captain. Very promising indeed. We would like to extend our services. We provide a secure solution for the storage of your assets, absolute discretion, and steadfastness unto death and beyond. We require only a signature. This is kinda... disturbs me a little bit. The offer is entirely complimentary, I assure you. At Halliges, we measure ourselves by the quality of our clientele. This will unlock a bank vault, allowing you to store and withdraw items at any hub port. Okay, never mind. I don't have to worry quite so much. Or do I? Have I just signed my soul to the bank? Probably. I am certain that this represents the beginning of a long and warm relationship between ourselves and your lineage. May it endure. I bid you good day, Captain. You may access your bank you may access your bank in the central port of any region. You will find it in the list of areas in the left-hand menu when docked. Click to transfer items between your hold and the bank. You'll be able to access the contents of your bank from any hub port. If your captain dies, the contents of your bank will be inherited by your next captain. Okay, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to, like, leave valuables as we, like, get some extra stuff. Alright. Let's see, what do we got about New Winchester? Speak with seasoned captains. Oh, a new opportunity. A distress call. Smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping. Oh, right, we've read all this before. But yeah, a group of concerned Tackities are looking for a Skyfaring captain to assist them in retrieving a missing friend. Interesting. Oh, and we also do not have a retiring filmmaker. That's cool. Alright, Captain, a broad-shouldered... Let me try that again. Captain, a broad-shouldered Tackety, speaks for the group. A friend of ours, there are protests, an acquaintance of ours, has sent a message from Hybris. I don't know where that is. She needs transport back to New Winchester. Would you mind picking her up if you happen to go out that way? She's a filmmaker, goes by Mademoiselle Lumiere. She said she'd never return, so I have to assume she's taken ill. It'd be good to make sure she gets back safely. Okay, you've been asked to bring a filmmaker back to New Winchester from Hybris. Kinda help if you tell me where Hybris is, my friend. He didn't tell me. Well, thanks a lot, jerk. Anyway, let's speak with the seasoned captains. Yeah, look for other opportunities, companies, always blah blah blah. Alright. I mean, we know about that stuff. Let's, Victory Hall, yeah, that's... We'll prove our relations with the colonists, I think. Anyway, yes. Deliver your port reports. Her tireless exertions during the blockade earned her both a seat on the Assembly and enemies in London. She likes to keep abreast of events. And so we shall do that. Ooh. We have 3 times the Tackities. She listens with a scowl. Well, I'd rather know than not, I suppose, and thank you for bringing this to me. Rather than the bloody stovepipes, I'll arrange a gratuity. You don't need to censor bloody, my friend. That's not necessary at all. So we've gained 2 fuel, an additional supply, and some sovereigns. That is actually very useful. Can we chat with you? Or wait. Yes, we actually have seen that already. Alright, so we don't have any of this yet. I don't suppose I can then go to Company House and, like, trade in... Ah, okay, so we can't just trade in our reports to both and play both sides. At least not that easily. Alright, so we have no more prospects here. The Labor Exchange, Abraham's Engineering, Victoria's Market. Ah, we could also slowly upgrade to better ships, by the by. But, not yet. You know... Yeah, sure, we'll introduce ourselves. Oh yeah, we haven't read that exact bit, but we have seen some of that before. Now, hang on a second. Let's look at our prospects here. Okay, so, the amenable host. Who is the amenable host, and where do I find them? Let's see, blah blah blah, lose any progress. Or, what does this do? Give us... Or I guess that means we have space for one more. Alright. Fearless Captain, Sweet Jane's Counting House on Lustrum. Circus. And... But Magdalene's. I mean, I guess... Oh, Magdalene's must be the actual location, so we gotta find it before we can actually turn our juice in, as it were. Alright, well, let us make some effort at doing that then, I guess. I mean, where would it be, I wonder to myself? So many questions. So few answers. Who knows? I mean, I'm hopeful that we'll find something exciting out here in the dark depths of space. But also, perhaps more importantly, I want to find this Magdalene's. See what we've got going for us here. And also, what is this? Just more of New Winchester? Or is it something else? That's a good question, and truthfully, I don't know. I mean, I assume that's just part of New Winchester. Or some kind of mining field, maybe? You never know, really, until you go exploring and hopefully find something. I would really like if I could get some directions, though. Find some... Because, I mean, surely the people of New Winchester know where the various places are. But maybe not. Hey there, welcome to the stream. Oh well. Actually, hang on a second. I want to change the audio a little bit. I'm going to lower this just a bit. Maybe raise this just a bit. Let's put this at 25 because I want the music to be a little bit louder than the sound effects, or at least balanced in such a way that we can enjoy them. Because honestly, I mean, this is a very beautiful game, and it also is a very, like, the sound is just, you know, it's the little things that really make make a game, isn't it? So here's Havenwood, but what does that mean for us? Because it doesn't look like we can land here. So it's just a place, I guess. Place we can stop by, maybe get some tea. Maybe. Or I guess it could just be like a local landmark so that we can kind of establish ourselves. All right, so that looks like just a friendly train making its way in the world, but oh my. There's a completely broken train right here. All right, what do we got? A wreck. The wreck gleams with frost. Its windows are dark. Its engine silent. Perhaps something of value lies within. Okay, our odds are only 30%, or we can reduce terror. You know what? Let's try. Oh, and we got success. Good. Your boarding party follow you gingerly through the rent in the wreck's side. Steel bones of the engine groan miserably. You will need to hurry. Lifting your lamp, you lead your party forwards, or party towards the galley, the magazine, the captain's quarters, crew quarters, or the engine room. I mean, I like the idea of munitions, but I kind of want to get any unusual discoveries that may be here. Aha! An otherworldly artifact. Exactly. Your party efficiently and thoroughly turns the cabin over, throwing everything of use into a frost-crackling bedsheet to be examined in better circumstances. Then you hurry back to your locomotive in time to watch the wreck crack, split, and spill its remaining secrets into the sky. Oh, ow. Okay, turn off the, old wreck broken and bent. Well, I feel bad for it, but, surely it's not our problem anymore. Also, there's this thing right here, which makes me wonder to myself, like, is that a little emergency beacon for that wreck, or is it an indication that there is something nearby for us to explore? That I am not entirely 110% sure on. Let's send the bat out, see if it might happen to have any hints on something for us. Ah, it spotted something of interest. Okay, so let's turn this great space train around and see what we can find here. Hopefully it is indeed something interesting. I mean, I assume it is, but you never know. Alright, we're also, we're reasonably good on fuel. I'm kind of hoping that this is Magdalene's, so that we can get rid of those flowers that are sitting in our hole that are currently not being of any profit to us. Alright. Big rock. Oh, and there's some trees, so where there's trees, there is life, and where there is life, there are probably people, and where there are people, there are opportunities. Your bridge windows fog with recent steam trails. The place is well frequented. Aha! Perkins' Cops. Cool story. Aha! Magdalene's. Excellent. This is exactly what we were looking for. Alright, let's slow our approach here just a little bit. Just glide gently into the station. Alright. Oh, listen to that little ticking. I like it. The House of Small Comfort. Magdalene's is the closest thing many Skyfarers have to a home. It offers services to alleviate the stain of spending a life spent too close to the stars. Magdalene's is one of the few places that will allow you to improve your condition, should it worsen. Now, condition is like this right here. Currently, we only have, like, level 1 terror, but it can get up there. And basically, the more there is, the more likely bad stuff's gonna happen as we slowly go insane and eat all of our crew members. Or, you know, something like that. Alright, the glass spires of Magdalene's pierce the clouds like swords. Stained glass clock tower presides over the cluster of buildings as a mother superior would over her wayward charges. Shadowed figures can be seen moving through the gleaming corridors, their identities obscured by the hued glass. Crowds of Skyfarers, ministry officials, and merchants mill about the forecourt, in varying degrees of distress. All watch the clock, waiting for their appointed hour. Alright, let's start off by writing a port report. Magdalene's is abuzz with activity. Barely has the clock chimed, then a clamor goes up at the front desk. Guests rushing to and from appointments. Lord Blank was seen in conversation with the amenable host. The East Wing was closed for general access all day. A certain distinguished admiral was seen with his second-in-command entering one of the chambers of regret. Several guests succumbed to an excess of sentimentality and were forcibly removed. Oakley dokley. Interesting stuff indeed. We could request an appointment. Oh, there is also an opportunity. The amenable host would like a quiet word. Okay, let's have a listen. An attendant escorts you through the dazzling violet corridors. The host's red door is always open. The attendant leaves you just as the clock begins to chime. The amenable host's atrium. The amenable host is reclining on a couch of crushed velvet, a goblet of sparkling wine in his long fingers. Somewhere in the tower above him, the great clock clicks away, and by clicks I mean ticks. His atrium is always open to guests. He regularly indulges in all manner of complaints, friendly criticism, and suggestions. Today he has a headache. He beckons you close. Oakley. His voice was soft and sibilant, like butter melting in candlelight. Okay, that's an interesting description indeed, isn't it? It seems that there is a guest who has become rather too attached to a particular attendant. Always he requests that the same attendant appear in the same guise. The amenable host's lips curls in distaste. He reiterates the aim of Magdalen's, a place of healing, a place of sanctuary, a place of respite. It was never intended to feed a broken heart. That is an unhealthy state in which to linger. This guest brings sickness. I would have him purged. I have a dossier on our guest if you're interested in helping. An unwelcome truth. So he wants us to kill someone, or just kick them out the airlock, or maybe take them on a little train ride somewhere else. Alrighty then. The amenable host is reclining on a couch of crushed velvet. A goblet. Oh, right. Gotcha. Let's see. Take the lachrymose guest's dossier. The amenable host has requested help in removing a customer who is blurring the boundaries of healer and patient. Alright, we can do that. Yes. Alright, the amenable host's smile washes across his face like a wave destroying a sandcastle. I am so glad you can help us. He produces a thin sliver of pages and passes them to you. I'd recommend taking on the role of one of our attendants, and in so doing, playing the role of someone significant to him. The amenable host sighs, reaching for his goblet. He knows all of our attendants by voice now. Someone new is needed. Onwards, then! Alright, we can totally do that. Alright, let's, deal with the lachrymose guest. I guess we might as well do that right off the bat, shall we? Alright, he stands on the threshold of the treatment centers, his hands trembling. The attendants on duty have been briefed as to your involvement. Alright. How do you plan to deal with him? A treatment chamber has been emptied for you, should you wish to adopt a disguise from his past. Alternately, he has stood right there. He does not seem to have noticed you, his eyes boring through the doors of the treatment rooms. Okay, we can approach directly. We could disguise ourselves as his mother. Interesting. Or we could disguise yourself as his lover. Oh ho. You know what? Let's approach it directly. If I'm understanding correctly, whatever they're doing here, they basically like dress up as people from their client's past and I don't know, help them deal with easing their pain. But I think dealing with reality and, facing your loss and your regret and all that head on, it's difficult, but ultimately you're better off for it rather than, lingering in delusions and dreams of pasts, futures that never were, or futures pasts or whatever. Anyway, yes, let's approach directly. Let's see if it works. Lachrymose guest's eyes widen as you approach. Has there been a problem? You invite him to sit. Stiff brandies are ordered. You recount your own share of heartbreaks and tragedies, how you found yourself here, and you make clear that despite all that, you will be leaving. He nods slowly, and after a quick shake of your hand, walks away toward the station. He does not look back. Well, that worked out nicely. Alright, let's go talk to the host again. Also, that clock is apparently always getting ready to chime. Alright. Let's let him know the story. Ooh, we get a bit of money, too. The amenable host smiles beatifically. Beatifically? Beatifically. Anyway, of course, my staff will be pleased. It is a risk of our trade when our clients can no longer separate identity and illusion. He breathes out, his sigh echoing around the atrium like a loosed bird. It is a trap any of us could fall into. Here, take this. He fishes around beneath his couch for one of his goblets. It'll fetch a pretty price. Take it with my thanks. Do visit us again. I totally will, rather. I'm not hurting. I'm fine. Let's speak with an attendant, see what stories we have to hear here. An attendant waits in the foyer to schedule appointments for guests. A great binder sits in front of her, and the wall before her is covered in ticking clocks. The furnishings are plush, paintings hung on the walls display abstract skyscapes. They could come from almost anywhere in the wilderness. The attendant is eager to explain the procedures offered at Magdalen's and the rules that govern the refuge. This is a hospital for the spirit. The staff are physic and mimic both. Here, you may say farewell to a doomed comrade, resurrect an old love, spar with a defeated enemy once more, all for a fair price, and so long as you do not indulge. Our services are for healing, not to provide another crutch. Alright, that's interesting. A mourner wanders past, clad in outdated black silk. She is recreating her husband's funeral today. She is smiling. Okay. What the heck, we can observe some guests, see what they have to say. An elderly grand dame is haranguing an attendant. Yes, but where is my husband? That gentleman was most assuredly not he. Hushed murmuring follows, interrupted by a loud cry. No, I did not misunderstand the rules. He's joined your staff. Quiet weeping can be heard echoing through the glass corridors. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, on to the bazaar. Yes. Verdant scenes for Magdalene's. Alright, let's, Oh, wow. I wonder, would I have been able to sell more if I had more on me? Maybe. The amenable host beams impeccably, just what we needed. Although I must admit, I do miss roses, and lilies, and bluebells. Still, these celestial blooms have their own virtues. Some of them weep, you know. He pays you a genuine or generous gratuity. Okay, so in addition to the extra profit here, we also get this stuff here. I like it. The sniveling Spirifer is selling souls. Oh. Ah, bargain bronzewood. Do we need any bargain bronzewood? See here. No, we need crates of munitions and also books. Lots of books. But at least we know that... at least we know... Ah, yeah, just kind of... happens from time to time. So we don't need that. And we don't need this. Not right now. Let's check out the exchange. Actually, hang on a second here. Oh no, those are actually considerably cheaper than the regular souls. Let's buy ourselves one of each of supplies and fuel, just to be safe. And I think that about wraps up everything we might want to do here. So let's move on and see what, if anything, we can find for ourselves. I mean, I actually kind of think to myself here, well, we have enough. Ooh, I have souls. A flickering and fermented soul. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, we've got stuff to sell. I mean, we've got, again, we've got to get some books and also some munitions. Of course, we don't really know where the places that we're selling those things to are, so we shall have to continue exploring, I guess. Kind of wondering if we should do like a ring around the reach. But on the other hand, I mean, I guess we could rely on our bat a little bit, but then again, the bat may not have anything to report to us, so I am mildly skeptical of sending him out. But I think I will, nonetheless, despite my previous commentary there. He is happy to have found nothing of interest. Well, screw you too, bat. Ooh, mushrooms. Mushrooms are nice. Big old mushroom potato rock. Or something of that general nature. Oh, oh, oh. There's luggage just tossed overboard here. Always useful because, you know, it can save us a little bit. Yeah, we don't have to pay for... Let's see, the bat returns and sulks until it admits to finding something of interest. Alright, what do we got? What is this thing of interest? Or have we already... Oh, there it is. Anyway, yeah. Lots to explore, discover. Oh, there's a contankery down there. Oh. Boom. Now, there is a part of me that feels bad about killing that thing in cold blood when it was clearly trying to mate with that buoy over there. But there's another part of me that says, you know what? I don't actually feel bad at all. No, I can't say that. I feel kind of bad for murdering it. I mean, what did it actually do to me? Also, what's going on down here? There's some kind of, like, ice thing. Or there's winds. Solar winds. Stellar winds. Interesting. I mean, to the south of us, there's something to explore, but I feel like there's... Like, yeah, there's a house right here. So, surely... there is something of interest up here as well. Well, there's a contankery over there. But I feel like there's got to be something else around here that I am just missing. Alright. The Van Zessen Waste. Maybe there's nothing here after all. Oh, keep cruise control on. Now, I'll admit, there's a part of me that's thinking to myself, you know what, there's probably, like, if I remember Sunless Sea correctly, like, there's some, like, big, dangerous stuff in that game that you can end up encountering. And I am mildly concerned, I will admit, of, like, accidentally wandering off the beaten path and encountering something horrifying. But then again, that's part of adventure, isn't it? I mean, and we've got some kind of descendant back home, a son or a nephew or a niece or cousin or brother or sister or something to carry on the family name should anything terrible befall us. Also, let's kind of circle around at the edge here and make our way back south to that interesting thing that our bat discovered. I was kind of hoping we'd find something else up here, but I mean, there's probably something in this waste that we just haven't discovered yet, but for now, this is all. Also, I'm hearing some bubbling. And this thing is still following us. And there is also some sweet loot down here, always good. A little bit more fuel. I mean, honestly, if nothing else, that does just save us some money, doesn't it? And that's generally pretty important. So, I can't complain about that. Well, I guess our big goal should probably be to, like, save up and get a bigger and better ship. Something with a little bit more oomph to it. Also, you know what? I'm getting tired of this contankery here. Oh. Hey. Not done with you yet, son. And we'll loot it for the experience, if nothing else. And I'm sure we're going to level up soon. Oh, that was the wrong turn. There we go. And we will, again, take that. I mean, we don't need any of the other options. We're not terribly desperate for food or anything else, so let's just keep moving. Again. Alright, we're coming upon something here. I think. I mean, there's a beacon marker over there. Clearly a sign of something. I mean, oh my. Fungus covers this place like a blanket. It sprouts pallid white and angry red on every outcropping and asteroid. Always with the fungus. Honestly, it kind of looks almost alive in some ways, doesn't it? Ah, Alfred's farm. Well, it's good to know we discovered something new and possibly exciting. What stories are there to tell here, I wonder? Ah, Hybris. Yeah, there was an opportunity here, wasn't there? Deliver that to the ringmaster. And... sweet something. House Lutstrom. Hybris. Why do I feel like I should know about Hybris? It's been mentioned before, hasn't it? Maybe I'm thinking of a different opportunity that we didn't actually follow up on. In any case, yeah, let's check it out. Starting here. Alright, so there's some seeds here, a little bit more expensive than in other places. Fresh showers! Get your fresh showers here! Alright, so we've got some hours there. A sudden seed of crops, alright, some verdant seeds, always useful. Alright, a fledgling colony trying to dig its fingernails deep enough into the spongy fungal fabric of the Reach to cling on when hard times come. There's a sad truth that many more settlements are founded than flourish. That's disturbing. Nestled amidst sprawling, sporing gardens of fungus, Hybris is a colony of octogenarians, aka old people. Rotting buildings slough gently into decay. Or off. Slough? I'll say slough. Maintenance is poor, the population aged. An insect infected by deep spines of fungus flies past drowsily. Grove asks no license, reads a barely legible sign stacked into a collapsed pile of fungal eggs. A venerable welcoming party has gathered. The wizened mare approaches. His back is bent, but his pace is steady. Oh. The mayor has a firm handshake. Welcome, welcome to our little hideaway in the skies. Watch your step. That one's about to fruit. True enough, the little white sack at your feet suddenly breaks apart as snaking thick red tendrils of fungus explode outwards. The mayoral assistant, a severe woman of slightly less advanced years, guides the mayor to a nearby bench. You're welcome here as long as you like, as long as you need. From whatever you leave behind, here you are safe. Ooh, there's also something changing here. That's possibly disturbing, but also possibly not. Let's start by gathering a port report. Not much seems to happen, but someone may be interested. Life moves slowly here. There are arguments over the rules of bowls and the correct length of time in which to steep tea. The station master keeps his distance and seems to avoid the villagers. Standing under the mushrooms, one perceives a unique quality of light as straight filters through the underside of the caps. Or as starlight filters, rather. Sounds like an interesting place. Ooh, we could take tea. How much does it cost? Oh, I only needed 5. So it wouldn't be terrible. Let's explore the settlement first. A game of bowls has been organized on the flattest bit of marsh anyone could locate. You are invited to participate by the mayoral assistant, who proves herself a mean backhand draw. When all is over and everyone has retired for squeezed fungal juices at the Brendan, yuck, the wizened mayor takes you aside. This is what it's all about, his second youth. First, in most cases, he grins conspiratorially. Cool, cool. Wander the wilds. You enter the fungal forest of Hybris. Clouds of spores drift through the ropey tendrils of freestanding fungus. Giant ants pierced with spines of mushroom crawl to the tops of trees to better spread their spores. Wander amidst the webs and arches of mushrooms for some hours until you stumble across a shallow graveyard. Each headstone bears a number of 7 digits or more. Barely covered in the shallow earth are sets of manacles. Oh my. So this is a prison graveyard. That's kind of disturbing. Make a delicate inquiry to the wizened mare. Yeah, why is everyone here very old? Wizened mare chuckles heartily when you wonder if perhaps there is a lower age limit on settling in Hybris. Oh no, we'd welcome youth, but we don't get many settlers coming out this way. We're happily secluded, far from prying eyes here. Smiles as across the marsh his mayoral assistant trounces another unfortunate at bowls. We're rather enjoying a second youth here. Our best years were spent by others. The wizened mare glances towards the town hall, where preparations are being made for a marvelous show. We have plans to hopefully change that, though. Colonists are enjoying a second youth. Interesting. Oh, right. Oh, that's why we were here, because we're searching for Mademoiselle Lumiere. Loud curses lead you towards an elderly woman fiddling with an antiquated camera. Its lens is trained on a pile of rotting purple fungus that resemble crocuses. She sighs and shuts the frame. That'll do. She offers a trembling hand. Lumiere, once a renowned explorer and filmmaker, now, as you see, a cough rattles through her. You from New Winchester? I'll leave with you. I can pay my way. I'm done here, and my lungs won't tolerate much more of this. She smiles wanly. Wanly or wanly? I have a premiere to plan. Alright, cool story. Means we're probably going to talk to her on the way back. Let's take tea at the Brendan. Hopefully, it's not like infected tea that's going to cause us to spread spores all throughout space. Yes, the only lodging house in Hybris, and the only building with more than one story. The smell of stewed tea permeates the dilapidated boards. Oh, okay, so we lose a little bit of terror doing that. Well, that's good. Fair Nance, a large woman of advanced years, produces a pot of green tea. On the house, she fetches doilies for you and your crew from a moldering tea chest. She sighs as she blows away the spores. Used to read the leaves on our breaks. This was in the factories, as was... but I shouldn't talk about that here. She peers into your finished cup as she moves to refill. I don't see a long future here, my love. Make the most of what you have, I should say. Well, that's ominous. Thanks for that. Alright, so really we only have bargains. We don't really need anything there right now. What we do need, however, of course, are, again, we need a nice, cheap amount of books. And we also need some munitions. Which hopefully we will find, by the by. Oh, go, whoa. Yeah, try not to do that. Anyway, let's also take a quick peek at the map here. So I think we'll, like, circle down south to get back to New Winchester. And let's see here, looking at the time, I think once we get back to New Winchester, that's probably where we'll wrap up the stream. So hopefully before then we encounter something truly marvelous and spectacular. Though I must say, the crazy fungally stuff here is also pretty marvelous and indeed spectacular. But creepy in its own way. Also, I've let us take a little bit of damage, haven't I? This all looks like ice, so I'm kind of surprised that we're, like, seeing fungus and stuff. Oh, there's something down here. But what? That is indeed a good question. Or maybe we've just left the boundary of Hybris here. That could be it. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. All I know is that we've got plenty of fuel, a reasonable amount of supplies, and we are overall... Ooh, what's this? Overall, things are looking pretty, you know, optimistic here. Oh my. But is this? Like a bunch of tubers and barnacles and things. I'm not sure if I should be scared, honestly. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't feel, like, terribly scared here or, like, terribly, unwelcome in the vast reaches of space. But, admittingly, at the same time, there is a certain trepidation. Ah, the mold pastures. Yeah, a certain sense of trepidation about, what may or may not be out here. Also, that was pretty useful. We got a bit of healing. It's happy to have found nothing of interest. Stupid bat. Oh, hang on. There's something solid down here. So, oh, also we're a little bit low on supplies, so that can really jack up our terror if we, you know, are sitting on 0 supplies. So maybe I should not be quite so bold as to wander out here into the mist when we don't really know what, if anything, there is for us to find down here. And Port Winchester is a reasonable distance away, so I don't know. Oh, there's something out here. A wreck. Alright. Stripper for repairs. I mean, we're already at full repair, so we don't need to do that. And we have a 72% chance of success, which indeed succeeded. Alright, your driver pulls your locomotive alongside the wreck close enough for you to leap from one to the other. The floor of the bridge is carpeted with glass fragments. It shines like stars in your lamplight, and tinkles like bells when your boots brush it. A sky chest nailed to the floor at the back of the bridge yields to your efforts. Let's see here. What could it be? A marked box. Fragile contents. Do not shake, upend, or discommode. I'm not sure what that means, but now we have some more otherworldly artifacts. A set of golden scales slides out of the knife-open box. It takes 3 of you to lift, 6 to carry. Lapis lazuli shines in the base. Complex diagrams of constellations circle the pans like the rings of planets. Well, that's interesting. Alright, that might have just been a rock. I mean, sometimes a rock is just a rock, and sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. But other times it's not. Oh, and it is 1905. Ah, the early 20th century. Truly the greatest century, you know, except for the fact that it went through 2 world wars, the whole Cold War, and generally some other things. But then again, it led us to here and now. Truly the best time to be alive. Well, then again, I guess the best time to be alive really depends on your perspective, doesn't it? I mean, some people would say that the best time to be alive would have been during the height of the Roman Empire. Others during the height of the British Empire. Others the height of some other empire that I can't think of right now. Let's say the Ottoman Empire. Why not? You know, the best of times, the worst of times, it's all subjective. I mean, in general, I guess all times are good. I mean, in fact, the times you're living in are probably best times in Hello. Listen here, you dick. Alright, we're getting shot at here, I can't help but notice. Okay, that was... This is a pirate ship. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Alright. Okay, remember, lead your targets. Oh, and he is down for the count. Goodbye, sucker. Stupid pirates. Alright, let's see here. We can explore the captain's cabin, which has a 90% chance of success, or we could raid the safe. I mean, sovereigns are pretty useful at this stage of the game. I have to assume this is going to get us, like, unusual artifacts or something. Or unearthly artifacts. Let's check it out. Ah, Ceylon stewed gossip. And as I recall, we need this for certain things, such as, back in that one port place. The cabin door did not survive the onset of your guns, nor did the captain. You have to tread carefully. The carpet will not be saved. That's unfortunate. I do like a good carpet. A few scorched documents sit on the bronzewood desk. They make for interesting reading. Apparently London had need of a few brave captains willing to bring fire to the Tacites. You would not have expected the signatories of the orders. Oh ho. Well, a little bit of gossip is always nice, I suppose. And alright, so now we've had a bit of an example of fighting just the random beasts of the sky, and also space pirates. So, oh good god, we're a little bit low on supplies here. Oh, please let this be an extra box of supplies. If for no other reason than so we don't get a bit of extra terror. What is that? What is that? Alright, so these are like my possessions. Favor here too, which is always useful. And, what is this? Crate of nostalgic crockery. Alright. Well, I suppose that's... Oh, good. Look, we've made it to something. I got his way. Oh, is this just like a... This is not a port. This is just like some kind of... Yes, we'll break the news to the crew. Reduced rations. Narrow success. The exchange looks sullen. When you finish addressing them, they do not disperse. Their grumbling deepens. You need to nip this in the bud before discontent becomes insurrection. Right, so we either imprison the loudest, we do nothing and let them grumble, or we whip them with a little bit of terror. Yeah, sure, we'll chuck him in the brig. Let's see. Yes, down to the last supplies. Yeah, honestly, it's not that terrible. I mean, I know we'll make it before we run out. Don't you guys worry. Silly crew members being all worried about stuff. Of course, then again, they probably know that I am a dangerous customer. I wonder if I even want to get another crew member. Like, what is the benefit of being at full crew? Are we faster? Are we smarter? These are questions I don't actually have clear answers to be honest with you. What I do know is that for now we're doing fine, more or less. And it would probably also help if we fill out our crew here a little. Ooh, what's this? It's a building of some kind. A house. Factory. Indicating that we are within the range of New Winchester. That's always a plus. I mean, that should help calm these weary and tired bones, and also ease the fright of our crew. Though the moral of the story is I should probably always try to buy a couple of supplies when we go out onto a new adventure, shouldn't I? Whenever we stop in port, always buy a couple of supplies. I mean, we have a lot of finagling to do here with, like, balancing the supplies in our hold, but it is probably important to make sure that we are more full rather than less full. I mean, that just makes sense, doesn't it? Alright, let's slip on into port here, wrap up our stories. And, whoa, oh, easy does it, easy does it. Alright. Alright, off to the Victoria Market. I mean, do I actually want to sell the crockery now, or maybe... Maybe I want to hold on to it. How much crockery do I have? Oh, I see. Technically, I can sell more than what I have, but, you know. Yeah, 50 ducats is probably good. Good enough. Let's buy a bit of fuel, a couple of supplies, and back to Wolvesy Station to wrap up our story here. Ah, the Winchester War. The uneasy truces and sudden skirmishes that comprise the slow-burning war for the Reach forms the backdrop to daily life in New Winchester. Alright, citizens wishing to keep up with developments in the war turn to the New Gazette. It is famously the only newspaper worth reading in New Winchester, as well as the only paper allowed in circulation. I see. Its quality speaks for itself. Alright, let's read about the latest news. Secret factory. Don't even ask what that would be. A secret factory operating on Lustrum has been discovered by Tackety raiders. A report from Sweet Jane indicates all workers were lost, but the assets were secured. No official response from the Windward Company, but company engines have been sighted leaving Port Prosper in larger than usual numbers. C. What about the political situation? Assembly runs New Winchester from Victory Hall and seeks to strengthen its hand in the Reach. London's proxy, the Windward Company, however, maintain a considerable presence in the Reach. Although New Winchester is still neutral ground, tensions are mounting within and without the port. Also important to know. Ah, are they talking about me? Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Your name does not appear in any of the Tackety-focused reporting on the war. Apparently you are not considered worthy of comment. There's no mention of you among the stories of the Stovepipe's recent fortunes. Oh, so basically we are nobodies right now. Well, that's okay. That's totally fine. Ooh, another opportunity, you say. Alright, let's drop off Mademoiselle Lumiere first, though. She gives you a brisk handshake as she departs your locomotive. A better accommodation than I'm used to. Now, I have a premiere to plan. You're invited, of course. It'll be next week, assuming I haven't keeled over. She bustles off into the smog of New Winchester. Your squabby complains it's going to take weeks to get the spores out of her berth. 100 ducats. I mean, 658. That's pretty good. And, let's see, an occurrence. The day of the premiere quality is now. Okay, that sounds fun. I'll have to go check that out when the opportunity arises. And I guess before we wrap up, let's read this new opportunity. The meeting takes several days to arrange. She rejects the round table as a venue, and all of the cafes in the upper district, even that nice tea room under the bridges. Eventually, you agree upon the parlor at Company House, which is open to visitors on a Sunday. The pernickety factor requests you change table 3 times before she is satisfied. I'm looking for several disappeared colonists. I believe their destination was Hybris. I'd be much appreciative if you were to take me there. She sets her cap in her saucer and sighs. Not London make. Escorting the pernickety factor. Alright, well, I mean, we've already been to Hybris, so we do know that. Or, you know, we do know what to expect there. Yeah, and I guess we'll hire an extra crew member. It seems reasonable. How much money do I need for this? Ambition is... We don't have enough for that. Any new opportunities? Ah, hours for the Leadbeater and Stainrod Nature Reserve. Alright, we'll accept that. Flowers for Titania. The Florid Landscapist is planning a modest floral garden. She requires verdant seeds and lots of them. I can totally do that. And also seeds for Port Avon. Alright. Oh, you have too many prospects. Okay, so... Alright. That's good enough for now. Let's also turn in our reports. Alright. Gain some more rep with the Tackities. And some extra fuel and some supplies. And some more sovereigns. Alright, so basically... We need to... Oh. Trade favor for a savage secret. Let's save that for now. And yeah, I think this is a good time to wrap things up. So, as always, at the end of any stream, thanks for coming out, everybody. I hope you all had a good time. And, yeah, I think we might do some more Sunless Skies next week, and then maybe we'll swap over to something else after that, because there's a lot to play in here. And I figure we'll probably do, like, a regular series on this. But, we'll see where things go, I guess is what I'm saying. But until then... I look forward to seeing you all next week, so thanks for coming out again, everyone.